and welcome back to the Sylvia Career Podcast, where we have conversations that matter. But before we delve into today's conversation, we'd like to recap what we did last time. And the last conversation was getting hired. This was a conversation that I felt it is necessary for people who are looking for new opportunities. And we shared nuggets that will help you in your job shopping journey. And today's conversation is about leadership. And I'm going to have my friend Everlyne introduce herself as we continue the conversation. So Everlyne, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you so much, Sylvia. My name is Everlyne Koki. I am an organizational development and leadership consultant. I'm very passionate about people showing up as themselves, a whole in organizations, in their lives, in how they interact with others. And it's work that I am looking forward to pushing it not only to our lives, but in our corporate world.
Awesome. You've mentioned something very interesting, and I can't just let you pass with that one.
All right.
And bringing your whole self. What does that mean, Everlyne?
It means taking the time to understand who you are. I know purpose is a big word that gets thrown around, but it's a big word that also needs you to take the time and dig that up. Clearly understand why you're here, the gifts that you have, the larger purpose that you're supposed to serve.
Yes.
Because I believe we are not here to serve our own interests.
Yes.
We are here to serve a bigger purpose, to benefit humanity. Yes. And so it's understanding that, aligning it with your personality, with your skills.
Yes.
And then now bringing all that to an organization or to the work that you do for you to be able to perform at your ultimate best.
Wow. Yeah. I love that. I really love that. Yeah, like you've mentioned, purpose is thrown around everywhere. Yeah. Everyone says, be aligned to the purpose. Yes. Be aligned. But nobody's breaking down what purpose is. So you're wondering, so what is my purpose? Why am I here? Then you start wondering, purpose, am I supposed to be given? Or where do I get it from? So I get it when you say that it's regularly thrown at us.
Yes.
Can we unpack that a little?
Okay. The best way I've had or read about to go about figuring out what your passion is realizing, what are you curious about? A child is born and you will find this child gravitating towards maybe computers, cooking. Yes. It's something that just comes naturally to them.
Yes.
That interests them. So that's one way of looking at it. What am I always curious about? If I'm scrolling through, what is that one thing that stops me and gets me to read? Another way of getting to your purpose is using the Japan Ikigai model. They say that your purpose is in an intersection between what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for. Now, you look at the world's problem, how do you fit in? Because I believe everyone has a gift. As a Christian, we've had this conversation before, everyone is born with a gift, something very unique about themselves that no one else can do it.
Yes.
Or no one else can do it as they do it. And so when you get to that part, you figure that bit out, you are able to solve a particular world problem that only you can solve, and you can actually get paid for it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think that's how I look at purpose.
I love how Ikigai has put it. Like, in my mind, I've just seen a triangle. So that each part has to be in existence for the other one not to topple over.
Yes.
For example, a triangle, if you remove one side, then it collapses. It doesn't continue becoming a perfect triangle. Meaning in every aspect, for you to be awesome as a person, you cannot be one thing.
Yes, exactly.
I know there is the part that you are gifted and you're more stronger, but it doesn't mean that that's the only one thing that you do. So you can pursue passion, but if you're not able to make it, people pay for it, then it's not solving a problem per se. So that's a very good a way of looking at it. I love that unpacking, Everlyne. It's quite unique.
Thank you.
And yes, the other time when I was actually writing why there are people who have advised us that when you go to work, go get your money, go back home. But that's detrimental. So as you've mentioned, we live for a purpose and to
Yes.
serve others. If my mind is money, 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 then I will not be helping anybody.
You're in service of money.
Yes, so you're in service of money, and that means your spiritual aspect is just not being attended to, and you become a robot.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, as we've mentioned, gifts.
Yes.
We barely use the gifts. It is for the benefit of others. That's
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Like if I bring you a cake for your birthday, will you eat it all of it alone? No,
No,
you
you
will
can't.
share.
You can't,
So
yes.
that means giftings is for the betterment of everyone and not necessarily us as a person. That was very beautiful unpacking.
Actually, it reminded me of something Martin Luther said. He said, the one immediate question we should all ask for ourselves is, what are you doing for others? If you can't answer that question, you're not living to your fullest potential.
Yep.
What exactly are you doing for other people? What is that one thing that you're involving yourself in that is not selfish?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that you can say. Also, there's a quote that says, "If I've made one person smile better," I'm paraphrasing it. I have done my bit in this world.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like you've said, it's a benefit to humanity. You cannot live for yourself. No one does, even nature.
Yes, and I think that is what continues to make us very selfish, because if you think it's for me and me alone, if I have something and I cannot share with you and you are not going to benefit from it,
Yeah.
then we are not helping one another. And that is, I guess that's part of the problems we have in the current world, because everyone for himself.
Yes.
And you cannot just you don't live in an island to say,
Yeah.
because many people who have money and they have no company, they die miserably.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And then the people who do slightly have enough and they have people around them, they live longer and the quality of life is a bit
Yeah.
better. What's
Actually, you've reminded me of the green zones. The green zones are the zones in the world where people live the longest. The one unifying factor, I think there are several, there are like around 5, is the social connection. Is how well, it's not about money, it's not about what you have,
Yes.
it's how well you're connected with others, how
Yes.
well are you living in a community, how good are your relationships, how quality are they. So if you think being selfish is going to get you anywhere, it's not. Other than an early death. But yeah, we were never meant to be selfish. We were never to live in an island. Yeah, we are here to serve a purpose, and that purpose is bigger than us.
Awesome. So that means there's a bigger thing that comes out when you serve. And that takes us to the next part of our conversation, which is servant leadership.
Yes.
So you cannot just be selfish and be a leader. How is that possible? It's not even possible for you to be selfish and be a leader at the same time. So I'd like us to talk more about servant leadership. So
Actually, those two things cannot be said in the same sentence. I know it has become common to say, to see and to witness selfish leaders, but the real definition of a leader is a servant. You are, when you lead, you serve. If you're not serving, I don't want to say stop calling yourself as a leader, but I hope we can. You are supposed to be in service of the people you're leading.
Yes.
Yeah. And the best example of a servant leader is, of course, Jesus. You see how he did it. It's amazing when you read, even people who do not believe in God, and they read the Bible as a story or a book, they come to the same conclusions.
Yes.
Yes, in as much as I may not believe Jesus was a savior, I love his model of leadership.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's quite interesting. They believe in the model of leadership that he inspired. Jesus was able to inspire children, inspire people from high class, low class, in between. He was able to get along with everyone. He was able to have a conversation with everyone, even people who were not. He broke cultural differences and cultural, what do I call them? Cultural
Barriers.
Barriers, yes, that's the word I'm looking for. The cultural barriers of the day.
Yes.
To just go and have a conversation with a Samaritan woman.
Imagine.
And that woman, I mean, the one person, if you were to ask strategies, I love strategy planning. But if I was doing strategy for Samaria and I want it to, to bring Christianity to that
Yes.
community, I'll not have gone to the Samaritan woman. In my limited knowledge, I would have gone, to the most influential leader in that and talked to him. But that woman and her testimony brought the entire community.
Come and see.
Come and see. And she was able to bring the entire crowd to Jesus.
Yes.
And Jesus, what does the Bible say, stayed there for like 3 days. Everyone literally now was following Christ. If, as leaders, if you were to serve from an unselfish point of view and from something else also affects leaders, biases, we'll be able to design this person and the abilities they have, notwithstanding the current reality.
Yes.
Because the Samaritan woman she had her issues, she had her problems, but Jesus was able to see past that and see, given an opportunity, this is someone who would be of service to the ministry.
Awesome.
And so you as a leader, while you're serving people in an organization, are you able to see past that? Are you really serving them, or are you just commanding, dictating, using your past experiences and traumas to decide what needs to be done, what has worked in the past, what means that this because it didn't work in the past, it can't work now? Are you trying to see the future and to design it in a way that it's not... I know history has its lesson, but you also need wisdom of today.
Wow.
I went for one of these Lillian Gala Foundation events, and I think it was either Whisper, I don't know, I can't remember who exactly said this, and she said every time she realizes she's making decisions out of a lot from the past and what has worked.
Yeah.
And she realizes it's time to leave. Because what she's doing, she's recycling.
Yes.
She's just recycling. She's not bringing in new insights into the organization. And she realized, okay, now it's time for me to go. And as a leader, do we get to that point where we realize I need to make peace with the fact that I am not bringing anything new into the table, into the conversation.
Yes.
And it's time for me to either upgrade my operating system.
Yes.
Or it's time for me to leave and let someone else take the reins.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is such high level of humility. Because I'm just imagining, if a leader, you look at, if I'm now commanding people around, then it's time for me to leave.
Yeah.
That's a very powerful, and that is somebody who is really discerning.
Exactly.
Because if you're not discerning, you want to have more power.
Yeah.
You want to be in control.
Yeah.
And because you have used this methodology to gain control in the past, so you think the future can be controlled in such a manner.
Yeah.
So what helps leaders to get to that point? I'm just curious to know what pointers does a leader need to look at so that they can be able to be aware, to have this level of awareness that it's time for me to either leave or upgrade?
Wow. Okay. I will say number one is realizing why you're there. It's not to serve you. It's not for you to accumulate power.
Yes.
It's for you to be of service. And that brings a level of humility and self-awareness that if anything I am doing is not in service of others, is in service to my own interest and my own ego, then I know it's time to leave. Secondly, I think it's God. What I know it's God.
Yes.
God has a way of illuminating and bringing these things to your view. I don't know if you experience that. Sometimes I do something and then there's a voice that tells me, okay, you should not have done that. Course correct, yeah.
It does happen to me a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
times,
yeah.
yes.
Course correct, yeah.
You just move away from something in a few minutes,
Yeah.
then you're like, nah,
Yeah.
that shouldn't have been that way.
Exactly.
And then because you're awake and aware,
Yes.
by that means you're really sharp. Your intuition is high. At the same time, you have a keen listening.
Yeah.
As we know God, we say that's the Holy Spirit speaking to us.
Yes, yes.
So
Yeah.
you would hear that voice, and it's usually very still. It's not
yeah.
loud.
It's not.
It's not so loud. Then
yeah.
you realize, that was not right. And
Yeah.
trust me, next time life has an opportunity of taking you back there so that you can course correct. That has been my experience.
Yes.
It takes you back exact spot.
Yeah, yeah.
When you course correct, you'll move to the next.
Yes.
Otherwise, you will keep going around that
Yes.
mountain,
Yeah.
redoing. It reminds me what I used to tell my girlfriends in campus. When God gives us a test, let's work so hard to pass so that we don't worry take.
That's wisdom.
Yes.
Honestly, yes.
So I used to tell that with my friends, and it helped us.
Yeah.
A lot of times because you're really doing your level best, and when an opportunity that's challenging comes to you, try your level best to go past the hurdle.
Yeah.
And I think that adds to what you just said.
Yeah.
As a leader, look at the opportunities because you'll make mistakes.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
when you make mistakes, life will present you another opportunity so that you can also course correct and also make it up to the person you actually hurt. So if you keep just trampling on them, then that voice disappears because it becomes your life, and that's how you want to live. And that's when everyone almost gives up on you, and they let you be. And that's a very sad part of leadership. If people have stopped giving you feedback, they've stopped talking to you, and they let you just roll, even when they know you're about to fall.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah. So do you like to add on to that?
Yes, that brings me back to the concept we started with, leading whole. If then all your spiritual life, your personality, and your service into this leadership, they're not aligned. You see, now it's easier for you you're leading from a fragmented point of view.
Yes.
It's easier for you to put off. You know the way they say church is for Sabbath or Sunday. I'm putting that off. Then I'm putting on my work hat, and I'll pick it up again on
Friday or on
Saturday or
Saturday.
Sunday, whichever day you go to church. Now that's the problem, because then if that's how you've divided your life,
Yes.
you will not be able to have that discernment.
True.
That voice will not speak to you because you've put it off until
a certain time.
Yes, and even if it spoke to you, you will not be in a condition to hear it. And this is now the problem with our current leaders, because we've decided to fragment ourselves and bring a different version of me at work, at work. You find that you're not aligned. You will not hear that voice.
Yes.
And people get to a point they're like you've said, given up. They're not giving you the feedback you need. They're not, like you've said, we all leaders make mistake. Everyone makes mistake. I had a privilege, the strategy plan I'm working for, and a specific organization. And
yes.
The CEO is just amazing. I mean, we would sit at validation workshops, and he would listen to every single person. Someone will have a view. He will ask for opinion to everyone.
Yes.
Then it makes sense. He says, yeah, change that. And I looked at him and I'm thinking, this is what leadership is. He would sit with us from 8 to 9 or whatever time he will not leave us. And he would listen to every single person and what they had to say. And then that brought out a document that is, everyone has an input, everyone has ownership, we call it ownership. Everyone feels, okay, this is a document I contributed to, so I have, I feel like I'm motivated to make everything and every plan come to life. And that's what leadership is.
Wow.
Being humble enough to know you do not know everything. Yes. And you indeed are going to make mistakes. But if you've created an environment, because that's the primary work of a leader.
Yes.
you're in service, number one. Number two is to create an environment where everyone feels free and safe enough to speak up.
Okay.
I was talking about an article I wrote on LinkedIn about this Alan. It's called Alan. I'm forgetting his second name. He was he was brought in as a CEO of Ford Motors.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, Ford Motors, they were doing badly. They were heading for a bankruptcy. And he gave a solution. He said, every week we'll have a meeting with the senior management team, and everyone will bring a card. Red means we are doing badly. Yellow means we are somewhat. And green means, you're on track with all your projects. And of course, the company is bleeding money, right? Everyone knows that. It's the elephant in the room, but no one is willing to admit it. Until one vice president admitted, there's a launch I'm working towards, but it's on shambles. He showed his red card. Guess what Alan did? Applauded him. Literally clapped and said, you know what? Finally, now we have something to work with. And a quote by Max D, he says, the real work of a leader is to define reality.
Yes.
And to say thank you and to be a servant in between.
Wow.
And so that's what a leader is. You be a servant, then you create an environment where everyone feels safe to speak to the reality as is. Because we cannot change what we are not willing to put on the table.
Wow.
So that's what a leader should do. I don't know if I've answered your question or if I've digressed.
No. In fact, you just brought in a very important aspect. When you talked about this leader who has brought everyone on the table, I mean, he's a leader who is not using the top-down approach because it's not working.
It's not.
It's not working at all. The reason why I say that is you would realize what the top leadership most of the time lay out everything and they trust the next level to do it. And a lot of meaning is lost in translation. What you didn't say is what the junior will hear.
Yeah.
And then I think this is also part where culture becomes totally different from what you as a CEO thinks is the culture of the organization vis-a-vis me who is a junior understands culture is.
Yes.
And it's part of the difficult conversation that we've had that clearly a culture is people's behavior and leaders are the ones who mirror it.
Yes.
Actually, they do not mirror, they model it.
Yes.
Yeah, so when they model that kind of, we sit alone in the boardroom, then we come to Evelyn, go execute this, Evelyn goes to approach the other person, that other person did not hear everything, so they keep a lot of information is missed. So collapsing the walls, collapsing all the silos is what leadership should do, is what I've learned from that story of Alan. Because now everyone is at the table and we get feedback in real time. We are showing red card that we are not doing well in presence of everybody.
Yes.
Not that we are going to hide in the room and then we send the CFO to go and and then to go and say and tell people to bring what are we going to do to turn around the numbers. It's all of us raising our hands and saying no, we are not doing well, all of us. But then I heard a certain did I hear or I read? I think I read something that most leaders don't want to admit in public because they want to be in control. They don't want to show vulnerability. So how do you balance out that act of being vulnerable, yes, but still showing direction? The way we've just said, we need to collapse the silos, sit together, and admit our mistakes openly. How is that achieved now in the current world? I know there's a lot of work, but those who are doing it, what are they doing it differently?
They first admitted that whatever we've been doing is not working. Or rather, it seems to be working, but it's not. It's admitting that control has not gotten us anywhere. Trust me, speaking from a controlling recovery person.
Exactly. Tell us more about that.
I mean, I always thought for me to get what I want, to live the life I want, I have to control all events around me. There's very embarrassing, but okay. There's a video, a recording my mom has when I was a child. I loved singing, but then I will start singing and then I'll get bored with that song. I want us to sing another song, and I'll demand that everyone stop singing that song. Let's move to this other song. I know my mom in the record is like, "Oh my goodness, you're so stubborn." I'm like, "I'm not. I just want us to sing another song. I've moved on from that song." And I'll get very agitated, demanding that everyone should sing the song that I want everyone to sing. And she would say that, you can actually change. You can actually pray. I'm like, no, this is how I was created. But let me tell you, the freedom I've experienced, letting go of control.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I do not know what I was doing thinking control is going to get me anywhere. It does not. It just keeps you living on an edge and anxious and wondering and expecting everyone to perform or to dance to your tune. Instead of accepting, you know what, even if they do that, if they do it just to please you, it's not going to last.
True
and you
that.
won't feel the same. I always have an example of if you're in a relationship with someone
Yes.
and you use control and you tell them, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want you to do, and they do it reluctantly. Without the energy or out of love, but out of fear of losing you. It feels different.
You will get hurt, in fact, observing that.
It's painful to watch. Very painful.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's realizing in as much as we think control will get you results.
Yes.
It will. But what kind of results are you looking for? If you're looking for such kind of results, good for you. If not, it's realizing, okay, it's not working. Let me try a different model. And this works when now you inspire. Another quality of a leader is it to inspire vision, is to paint that vision of the future so well that everyone around you is inspired to follow you there. So it's relinquishing control.
Yes.
And painting a vision that everyone feels, okay, I'm following this guy. Yeah. To whatever I like where he's taking me, I'm willing to follow him. And about, there's another question you asked, how do you do that without, and also offering direction, right?
Yes.
Reminds me of a story. I cannot remember, I don't remember the details, I just remember the concept. This guy was saying he learned something from his grandfather. Either his grandfather was a headsman, those elders, tribe, or whatever we used to have in our African setting.
Yes.
He said his grandfather will call for that meeting, elders meeting. And he will bring the issue on the table.
Yes.
This is what our problem is. And then he would keep quiet. And then he will wait for everyone to speak, and he will be the last one to speak.
Yes.
And he will take all the views of everyone in mind and come up with a direction, a sense of direction, and then now everyone else will, because they're feeling because sometimes it's not even, people don't struggle from a behavioral, psychological point of view, people don't struggle with following direction. They struggle with the fact that you didn't even give me a chance to explain myself, or you didn't hear me out. I see that with children. Children have taught me a lot. Sometimes it's not that they don't want to do what you're asking them to do. They just want to know they matter. Their voice matters. So if you give them a chance, if they tell you, oh, no, we don't want to read, we want to play. You're like, okay, tell me why. And you listen to them. They explain why they want to play. Like the other day, one of my children in my class in church, she was telling me the last class, they don't want to read, they want to play and sleep. And I'm like, okay, tell me why. Oh, we have assignments, we wake up early during the week. Sunday is the only day we are free. I'm like, okay. So tell me, how will this sleeping work? Yeah, tell me. Okay, fine. Let's agree. We are going to arrange sleeping in church. Tell me, how will that work? Like, okay. I see how complicated that is. We are like about 47. We can't all sleep. Like, okay. I'm like, all right. Can we just study? I'll just make it more interactive. We can have a bit of games in between. And they're like, okay, yeah, I like that. That child just needed to be heard. They're not telling you to buy their ideas. They're just telling you to listen to them and explain to them why their idea may not work. And then it's easier now for them to go with your idea. It's the same with leadership. And that's what I learned from that circle of elders story.
Yes.
People just want to be heard. Because if the grandfather would come in and just say, oh, you know, this is a problem, this is a solution, let's go. No one would follow him. But he died a very respectable man because he gave everyone a chance to air their views, and they felt heard, they felt respected, they felt their voice mattered, and all that incorporated where he can, and then gave a sense of direction at the end of the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting how we know that human beings are free thinkers and you still want to control their thoughts. I mean, that is futility.
Yes.
Because how do I control what Evelyn is thinking about right now and make her think the way I want her to think? If God in his wisdom has allowed human beings, that the very creation he created, to make them free in their thinking, what makes a fellow human being, they can create systems to make them obey? If the very God that created them did not create a system to make, but to compel, or rather to influence us to obey him willingly. I think that is the part that I'm learning from that story.
Yes.
You make me willfully follow you by allowing me to say what is in my mind and allow everyone else to say what is in their mind. Then they are able to look at it holistically and say, this idea will fit into yours. It can't fit it perfectly the way you want it, but it can fit into Evelyn's idea, and another person, and another, and another. Yes. At the end of the day, the solution that's brought to the table did not come from an outsider. No. It came from the within all of us. That reminds me of a course that I did called Design Thinking. Design Thinking is a very lovely problem-solving approach because you don't go with a mindset of I'm coming to solve Evelyn's problem and asking Evelyn to tell me all her problems, and I craft something and then tell her, oh, this is the solution. No, I'll make Evelyn uncover our own solutions and tell me, and I will still throw it back to her to solve it. And that is the approach I do as a coach. I will not tell you new things. If you're coming to me to tell you new things, sad news, I don't have. I will only broaden the perspective you already have. Because that way you will have come wholly into it and you will look at it in a different perspective or a wider angle, which you did not see. And that's the whole aspect of having another person to help you. But when you just refuse to ask for help because you're afraid that if I give you help, I'll lose control, then you're losing both. The help and the control that you are working so hard to maintain. So in essence, it boils back to what we said, that you can only work together and teamwork is a thing. And when you are a leader, it doesn't mean that you're just directing, even that some directions come from within the team. That's what I learned also in leadership. Directions, not necessarily you giving. No. It is coming from the team. You only amplify because you have you have the resources, you have a budget, and you can amplify that which has come from within. And just checking that the accountability aspect is what you take as a leader most of the time. So do you want to talk about a little bit more about the accountability that the leadership really helps in enhancing team cohesiveness? Yes.
A story is told of two different leaders. One leader is, you know very well, if we do this project and things go south, this leader is going to stand with me. He's going to support me. Another one is told of a leader who I know, we're going to work on this project. If things go to south, I am on my own. Now tell me, which leader am I going to serve faithfully? Or which one will I have to tiptoe around?
Wow.
Because I know at the end of the day, if I'm working on this project, and sometimes things, despite our best efforts and our intentions, things go south, I know this leader is going to stand with me He's not going to be the first one to throw me under the bus and say, oh, that was Evelyn's problem. No, he's going to be like, okay, this was our collective problem. It was our collective project. It's a collective problem, and we need to sit back to the table and see where we went wrong and course correct.
Oh.
So that's what a leader is supposed to do. Leader is supposed to give, again, service. He's supposed to give credit where it's due, but take the hits
Okay.
for his team.
Oh.
When you do that for your team, these
Yes.
people will go all the way for you.
All right.
Because they know I can bring my best, again, bring in your whole self, and a leader creating the right environment and culture for them, for the team to do that. I know I can bring my whole self to work, because I know in my humanity, if I fail,
Yes.
it will not be on me. The blame will not be assigned on me. It will be a collective blame, and I'll get a chance even to course correct. So that's what accountability is all about when it comes to a leader.
Yes. Yeah. So that means you really need to have empowered your team, that you know that they will not let you burn your fingers at every opportunity.
Actually, not empower them, model, show them.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
When a mistake is done, be the first one to say, you know what? What can we do what can we learn from this mistake? Not point blames, not fire people, not send threatening letters. There's a place for that, but not on a normal working environment. Yeah.
Okay. That's very interesting. So that means you bring in your situation leadership at that point.
Excellent.
And this is the situation, and we address it as it is at that point.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean we will apportion blame. We will not asking you to recount what you did because you're traumatizing you.
Yeah.
You're already beating yourself within.
Yeah.
So it would be worse for me to come to you for rescue than only for you to add more fire into my already burning situation. Wow, I love that. That was such a nice part. Talking about situation leadership, and then we have said how a leader ought to make me comfortable enough to own up my mistakes. Because I realize also at that part, when you're a leader and you do not create the environment for me to come to tell you, by the way, this and this has happened, and I am coming so that we can have a solution to it.
Yes.
Very few leaders are able to have open arms like that. So I wonder why is it so? And let me just go back a little. Yeah. There's a part that something I heard, that if a leader says this is safe space, then it is not a safe space. Because I need to feel it without you reminding me I am in safe space. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Situation leadership is the way to go. And that's where wisdom comes in. It's knowing what to do at this situation that it's completely different from the situation the previous day. Leadership is, let me just go back. If you look at the data of the many mistakes that have brought companies down, have brought people down, it's rarely the first mistake that someone commits that brings an organization down or brings them down.
Okay.
It's rarely your first mistake. It's usually the subsequent actions that someone takes to cover up the initial mistake. And that's where you have to realize if you can make your team comfortable enough to admit that initial mistake.
Yes.
You can deal with it. You can solve it. You can, do something to mitigate the ripple effect of that one mistake.
Yes.
But if your team is not, they're not comfortable, you've not created a conducive environment. You just say it's safe, but it's not. Because if you tell me, we are friends, let me give an example of us. We are friends, we are good friends.
Yes.
It's a safe space, and I come tell you something I did, and then your first reaction is to judge me. Will I ever come back to you again?
No way.
It doesn't matter how many times you tell me this is safe space. It doesn't matter now because the evidence shows the opposite.
Yes.
Same with leaders. As long as your evidence or how you model, how you treat people when they make a mistake shows them this environment is not safe. Doesn't matter how many times you say it's safe. And when now someone is able to see you, Sylvia has made a mistake. Our leader says, okay, this is what Sylvia has done. This is what we learned from the mistake she's made. Let's course correct. Team, what can we do to make sure this event, this action does not affect our future? And everyone collaborates and solves that problem and we move on. Tomorrow, someone who makes a mistake, they'll come and admit it because they've seen, oh my goodness, this is an actual safe space. But what ends up happening in most organizations is I'll commit a very small crime. Or I mean, not crime really, I'm going to use the word crime, sorry, mistake.
Mistake, yeah.
And it's something that can be corrected. But it's because I don't trust the leader, I will not speak of it. And this one problem has a ripple effect. And before you know it, it's a whole, they say you make a mountain out of a anthill. It's now a mountain.
Yes.
And it'll take more time, more work, more effort, more resources to solve it as a mountain. And it should have been easier to solve it as an anthill. So for a leader, it's very important to have that situational awareness, to realize how to solve this problem and to create an environment where everyone feels safe enough to admit their mistakes.
Yes.
And to collaborate in solving that mistakes and taking only the lessons learned and how to prevent that mistake in the future. Not the blame, not the guilt. We don't need that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. The other part that I'd like us to talk about briefly is about allowing yourself to be led.
Yes.
How then do I make myself ready to be led? Or rather, how do I become a person who can be led? Because it's possible for a person to just they think that's because I know self-leadership, so I think I can self-lead everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say the more you know, the more you realize you don't know anything. And it's the humility of a leader or anyone who is growing.
Yes.
There's a graph I saw. I can't remember what's the name of that graph. It was showing when you start on a subject matter, something, you're up there at the peak, you really think, oh, I know a lot. I'm very good at this. I have knowledge on this subject. And then something happens and you tip over, you realize, oh my goodness, I don't know anything. And then now reality checks in and you start now reading and realizing, yeah, there's actually a lot I do not know.
No, yes.
It's realizing as a human, you can't know it all. There is no such thing as arriving as a leader or as a person. We are always growing.
Yes.
Always. In fact, even the way I look at a glass right now, for instance, this glass, it's because of my limited knowledge. Tomorrow I may have another layer of information and I'll look at the glass
differently. Yes.
So sometimes it's not so much as new in stuff. It's even the perception of that situation changes with more knowledge. So as a leader, as long as you have the humility to know you're human and you will never know everything, you have to allow yourself to be led. You have to allow yourself to learn. You have to allow yourself to grow. And don't have the arrogance to know, to think you've arrived. In fact, if you ever feel that, it's time to kujita mkutano, as we say it in Kenya. Call yourself to a meeting and have a conversation with yourself and say, you know what? This is ego and pride. The Bible says pride comes before a fall.
Yes, true.
And what is pride really? It's thinking that it's not knowledge only, it's thinking that you know more than others.
Everyone else.
That's my simple definition of pride.
Wow.
So as long as you are not allowing yourself to be led, as long as pride is in your head, you're heading to the wrong direction.
Wow.
We all need to be led every single day. Every single day we learn something. We see things differently. We have a new situation we've never faced before.
Yes.
How then do you handle that? Without the wisdom of knowing, I do not know about this. I need to ask for help. I need to research. I need to read a bit. This life is complex.
Wow. Yeah. That means then I need to look up and look across.
Yeah.
Meaning
and down as well.
Yeah, across is those who are those who are on across is for us on the same level.
Yeah.
And then under. This is where reverse mentoring comes in. that actually you could still be led by your junior.
Yes.
And that's the part that many leaders do not want to admit,
To their detriment.
that they can be actually led. Not that they have authority, but they have influence.
Exactly.
So that influence is what leadership in essence is all about. It's not about me controlling things that are tangible.
Yeah.
There is a lot that is intangible in leadership,
Yes.
that the stakes are even higher than the tangible aspects of it. So I'm so glad that you've brought that aspect. And that what we like to talk about in coaching a lot is sponsor-mentor coach.
Okay.
Yeah, because a sponsor is definitely who that can sponsor you. Most of the time, coach is the one that is slightly higher. Most of the time, a peer-to-peer kind of coaching avails much because you have a lot of relatable things.
Yes.
And then the mentor also mentors. You'll have to look mentors up, mentors across, mentors down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you look at that, it does help a lot. That's why you cannot just lead alone. So you cannot just stand there and think that I am the one who sees. I think it worked that in the colonial times.
Yeah. And we see how that ended.
Yeah. And even generation-wise. While we were talking about children, by there I remembered Gen Z kind of people right now and the way they look at us millennials. From a leadership perspective, in your thoughts, how do we handle our Gen Z? Because we cannot ignore certainly that they have a point.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
It's hearing them out. Yeah. Let's call them to the table.
We call them to the
Let's call
table.
them to the table. Let's hear them out. And let them hear us out.
Yes.
Because they think we are very complacent.
Yeah.
They think we are stuck to one job, one company because of loyalty. They don't understand where we are coming from.
Yes.
If we were to sit them down and tell them, this is where we are coming from, this is why we behave the way we do. We're not saying it's right. We're just saying this is our rationale behind our choices.
Yes.
And then they tell us their rationale behind their choices. I'm telling you, we'll come to a conclusion.
And we will
that
know better
works.
after
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Because it's easier to stand and judge someone. It's harder to understand them.
Yes.
And
yes.
if you
yes.
want lasting and sustainable change in any area of your life, you have to understand where the other person is coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that. So yes, we will look at our history for the lessons. And today we will need the wisdom of today for us to advance. Those are your words.
exactly
They are not mine.
That's
So in
exactly
summary, how do you, in summary, you can give us a closing remark on leadership and what you've learned on its conclusion.
Okay. So I am an organizational development consultant. Organization development is coming into, I always say we are doctors and we are chefs at the same time. We come in, we diagnose what the issue is in the organization. And as a chef, we get your ingredients, what you have. We work with what you have, your capability, your history, your team, your people, your leadership. And then together get to create something and solve your current situation. And essentially, that's what leadership is. It's coming in and realizing this is the situation. This is the reality on the ground. And being very clear, not burying your head in the sand.
Okay.
Because most of the problems, even our Gen Z problem, like you said, is out of us, the rest of us burying our hands in the sand and thinking we can just ignore them and it will go away. That does not work. It's looking at your current reality as a leader and realizing the best way to go about this is to realize, number one, you have to be humble enough. You don't know everything.
Yes.
Number two, to know you are a servant. This is not about power. It's about influence. It's about growing and influencing the people under you. And number three is realizing if I don't do that, just to recap what we've done, if I think control is going to get me results, they're going to be temporary.
True that.
Lasting results comes from inspiring vision. Painting a very clear picture of where the future is, where you want to take the future, and influencing people to join you to build that future.
Awesome.
Yes, so it's getting clear on the reality, building, inspiring vision, looking at the ingredients you have.
Yes.
What are you working with? Don't start with working with materials that don't exist. You can, but sometimes it's getting very clear about your capabilities, your skills, your personality.
Yes.
And then working with that to create a future that, the desired future that you want to create.
Awesome.
So essentially for me, that's what leadership is about.
Awesome.
And then bringing everyone on board with you.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Definitely we need a part 2.
We do.
And
I agree.
we are going to let you know when we'll have part 2 of leadership. So
All right,
thank you very much for coming, Everlyne. Such an honor to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you very much. So thank you. And that's it from the Sylvia Career Podcast. Let's meet in the next episode. Goodbye.